Well, hello everyone. Eva Medilek here, your personal development and transformational leadership coach. And I wanted to share a something with you that has been kind of laying on me because we're at the end of the year. We have two more days left to 2025. And usually at the end of the year, not only are people making New Year's resolutions for 2026, but they're reflecting a bit on what their year was like in 2025. Personally, I am not a fan of New Year's resolutions because studies have showed that most people break them by February. I'm more of a fan of when you are inspired to change your life for the better, to start immediately, to start right away. Let one day be day one, or let your day one be one day, however that saying goes. And we don't always need to wait till the start of a new year. We can start now because honestly, tomorrow is never guaranteed. But it has been ingrained in us all of our lives to look forward to a new year, to look forward what new beginnings can bring, all of the things. And so for me, I have done a lot of reflection on 2025, and I have to be honest with you, 2025 has been tough. It is probably, I haven't really had a year that I could say was easy. If easy is what I was looking for, I'm not sure, but easy for a number of years. I've always gone into the new year really hopeful because the year I just came through was tough. But let me tell you something, toughness and fire and pressure makes diamonds. And so if you've had a really wonderful, easy year, God bless you. I am happy for you. But if you're like most people, and 2025 has been lifing hard for you. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. For me, nothing went the way I predicted. There were so many unexpected surprise setbacks for me in my health, in my business, in my personal life, just things that I've lost, things that have happened, things that have always like another thing is costing me money and big expenses too, and more was going out than coming in this past year. And it did a number on me, especially when I could not, because of health reasons, at least in my morning routine, that always sets me up to win, sets me up to have energy, sets me up to relieve stress. I wasn't able to do that physically. And so I had to find other ways. And I have to tell you, there were times when it was tough. And I know it's been for many people. It probably has been for you in some ways. And the thing that has kept me going, number one, was my clients. They are amazing. And every time I coach them, I coach myself as well. But I look at how I look at things. Wayne Dyer always said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And basically, I have learned to ask myself, where is the growth opportunity for me in this situation? What do I need to learn from this? There is something I need to learn to have this breakthrough to become better, more resilient, a better version of me, or smarter somehow. What can I learn? What is this trying to teach me? How can I skill up? Because here's the thing, when you have breakdowns or setbacks or lifing, it may be telling you you need to skill up in this area. It may be preventing you from going in a direction you had no business going. It may be sharing with you that you need to have more knowledge here. What can you do to learn from this? What is the lesson here? Where can you grow in this situation? And that always doesn't come necessarily with pushing harder and grinding harder, but I want to look at it as leveling up. being smarter. What can I do differently next time? It's like life is giving us feedback in a lot of ways of what's working and what's not working and what we need to do differently next time. We get feedback at our job, we get feedback from our managers, from our bosses, from leaders in our lives. Life gives us feedback. And 2025 has been a year where I've gotten a lot of feedback. I've gotten a lot of opportunities to practice being patient, to practice being positive, to practice, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not being perfect, but to really look deeper into not why is this happening to me, but why is this happening for me? What is this trying to teach me? And I have to be honest, a lot of times I felt like giving up, like throwing in the towel, like, "Ugh, I'm a lady of a certain age, and like, oh my God, how much longer do I need to struggle?" At one point, when you get older, life gets easier, but no, not when you are a high achiever, a higher performer, a person who is used to contributing to the world. And so the reason why I am sharing all of this with you is that the feedback that life gives us is also a signal for us to skill up instead of giving up. Now, I'm not saying that there are times when we need to let some things go. I want you to start thinking differently about situations and what do you need to learn from this situation? What decisions have you made that maybe moving forward you wouldn't make them again? You learn from them. What is the skill set that you need to learn to be able to move through this instead of giving up? Who do you need to hire? Who can help you through this? And, sometimes it's hiring coaches and mentors. Sometimes it's seeking help for your mental and your emotional health. Sometimes it's seeking help for your physical energy. Today, I start physical therapy because of all of the issues I've been kind of having ongoing with aches and pains. And I don't know, some of you may remember if you followed me for a while that I had a serious back spasm that sent me to the hospital in an ambulance, and that put a little bit of fear in me of like moving a certain way or doing certain exercises. That kind of got me out of the game. So my point in sharing this with you is when a life is lifing hard, when there are setbacks, when there are breakdowns, where do you need to skill up instead of give up, instead of throwing in the towel, instead of why is this happening to me? I'll never do this again. But what do I get to learn from this? Where can I learn from? Who do I need to go to for help? For me, it was physically, it is finding the right specialist that can hopefully help me, and I'm still on that journey. Financially, with some of my business dealings, reaching out to lawyers and other professionals to help me through it. When it comes to my business, what kind of alliances and coaches and mentors could I go to work this out? You don't have to do everything by yourself. And every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Maybe it looks like investing an extra 15 minutes a day into learning what your next level requires. Like I said, it could be hiring a coach. It could be enrolling in training when things don't feel right. I mean, AI is the buzz and everybody's really leveling up and skilling up in AI. Maybe it's taking some AI training or something. But my point is, we've got to, we all can reframe the obstacles that are being thrown at us as invitations to learn, to skill up, to grow, not necessarily as indicators to quit or give up. And so, it is going to be hard. A lot of times I've coached people that didn't want to do things because it wasn't easy and it was hard. And we need hard. We need to struggle, and that's where we start to shine. Look at the hard, look at the struggle as opportunities to shine. And we grow through what we go through, and a lot of us are going through a lot. And it's an exciting way to look at the growth that you are going to experience, how much wiser, how much smarter, how much more resilient, how much more successful you will be. If life was life, if you've had the type of year where life was lifing hard for you and obstacles came one after another, and sometimes you felt like you just didn't have time to breathe, to come up for air before another thing hit you. And I haven't had a year like this in a while, and I count my blessings. I really do. I know a lot of people have it a lot worse. I call my problems first world problems. Really, I am not struggling to eat or to have clean water or to have a bed to sleep in or to take a clean shower, like all of those things, right? Perspective, perspective. So, gratitude, opportunities, learning, growing, skilling up. What does 2026 need to look like differently for you so that you can take the hard knocks that life has been lifing for you in 2025? And how can you build better and stronger next year? So, with love for you, gratitude for you, hope and possibilities, and all good things for you, I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful slide into 2026. The Germans have a saying for Happy New Year is, I think it's called Guten Rutsch, which is a slide into the new year. And so here's hoping that you slide effortlessly into 2026, knowing that the lessons that you learned in 2025 are all working for you, not against you. So, Happy New Year, Guten Rutsch, and I will see you again in 2026. Bye.